Heb je de link? Heb je de link? What is up, TCT trading community? We are back. We've had a great weekend. We hope you had an amazing weekend as well. But it is Monday. We wrapped up the first trading day of the week. And I have to say, the TCT members nailed it even more than me because they shared the best setup of the day, which was an amazing short on Shiba. So I think it was shared by Tommy G and Mr. Nefarion. So we are celebrating and we hope you had an amazing weekend as well. Bitcoin is still in the liquidation range, as the title is saying. And I'm feeling great. Hope you're feeling great. Mr. Wyckoff Insider, hope you're feeling great.
I'm feeling amazing.
Always feeling good. Always feeling good. Especially in Dubai. Bro, the weather here in Holland has been very, very, very cold. It's time to move. Bro, I think it's like right now is like 12, but the temperature, like the feeling temperature is like sub 10. So it's windy, it's gray, but at least the charts are green, you know? At least the charts are green. So that makes up for it. So we have been in the same range as we have in the last 3 to 4 live streams right here. It has been almost a week of sideways price action, which seems like a lot, but it's definitely not a lot because, again, guys, if you zoom out, you know, I like to start on the higher time frames and look at this. You don't even have a high time frame range. It's like it's maximum the mid time frame, right? Like maximum mid time frame on the daily is not even visible. You know, you see some sideways candles, but it has just been a range. But the reason why I like to call it, you know, like the title said, the liquidation range, is because the range is going to move up and down. That's the definition of the range. Sideways price action with rotations from the range high to the range low and vice versa. And on every rotation, like we have seen it in real time, every rotation is like, oh, or is this going to be the start of, you know, the bigger retrace that we're expecting? And then every move up will be like, is it going to go to 100K? And then it's simply just a range. And people are stressing a lot, opening longs and shorts in the range, getting liquidated left and right, which is the entire purpose of the range, price and time capitulation. And sooner or later, we will break out and time will tell where the breakout will be. As of now, we have simply been uptrending and been ranging, and we have a lot of internal rotations like we have been posting. Little sip of the water, guys. So I'm just gonna rip it off. Wyckoff Insider can catch up and give his feedback after. So what I was basically looking at, like everybody knows that this is kind of my golden pocket zone of as to where price could start its higher time frame retrace. It's really between that 95.8K and that 109.4. I really like that area because it has like the two narratives of not reaching that 100K immediately or just exceeding that 100K by almost 10%. I really like that, where it's not particularly going to reject off 100, but more like either front run it or deviate it more, because the moment you start seeing that 101, 102, 103, people are going to absolutely trip out and freak out, and that's going to create ultimate FOMO. So my kind of general idea was I was really paying close attention as to how this week was going to open, okay? I let everybody know in the Discord that, hey, if we start opening the week and we have an aggressive sell-off, sweeping all that sell-side liquidity, and we actually leave this like low time frame range that we have been in, I was expecting a bounce from this 77.4K area. And the reason why I like that area is because on the lower time frame, you do have some structure demand in here where you can see price was making higher lows and higher highs. And then you had that push up, leaving that inefficiency. I trilled it up a tiny bit because on the lower time frame, there's even more demand there. So it's a nice little inefficiency fill and low time frame structure demand. But that was not the main thing as to why I was very interested. Because if we use our fibs from that most recent rotation, we can see that also the general 618 right here, that's this purple line. It's located right inside of that structure demand. If I pull it on the chart for you guys, you can see that right here, we have that structure or that 618 overlapping with that structure demand. Not only that, if we actually go on the weekly time frame, we can see that we left a very massive fair value gap. Okay. And the weekly time frame doesn't really often leave fair value gaps because you would need a very aggressive expansion in either direction, and most of the time price is ranging. So last time where we had a fair value gap, and mind you guys, I am referring to this fair value gap right here because this one is not confirmed until this weekly candle closes. But I was looking at this fair value gap, and the last time we had such a massive fair value gap was on the left here. Right, we had that massive weekly fair value gap, and that's actually what price ended up coming back for. And we didn't just come back for the fair value gap; you kind of came back for the equilibrium of the fair value gap. So kind of a 50% inefficiency fill. And the reason why those 50% inefficiency fills tend to work so well is because you have that idea of, okay, either we're going to tap the fair value gap and just reverse, or we're going to fill it, not realizing that you can also have just a partial fill around that EQ and then bounce. So, that POI was very significant last time. And if we look at where this fair value gap EQ is right now, if you check the middle line right here, you can see that the middle line is also overlapping that demand. And not only is that middle line of the fair value gap overlapping the demand, if we now start overlapping that fib that we just had on the chart, it's all lining up exactly in that point. Like it's overlapping perfectly. And when you combine that idea as well with the fact that if we start making our way down, if we do break out, and I really want to put the import or breakdown, and I really want to put the importance on if, okay, it's not a guarantee, it's just if, people are going to be talking about a back test of this massive range demand. And in my opinion, that back test is just going to be too easy. Like it's too easy of a back test. Everybody's watching the back test of that massive reaccumulation range support. So if we start dumping down, sweeping all this sell side liquidity, and we leave that range, I'll be looking for swing longs coming into this 78 till that 77, 76K area, kind of like in this area. I'll be looking for swing longs, and that is basically if we start coming down. Okay, it's just an idea, it's not guaranteed. But if we do come down, I really like that green demand POI. It's kind of, in my opinion, a little underrated zone that not that many people pay attention to because they'll just stay on the high time frame and they will just call for a back test of the general range that we were in, which is also possible. But I think this would mess up the most people that are looking for a long setup. Now, that's all if we start breaking down, because as of now, there is truly nothing bearish on the chart, guys. We have been trending up, making higher lows and higher highs. And ever since then, we have started a range. So when we're trending up, we pull our range from top to bottom, just like this, pull a range from top to bottom. And we have been having sideways price action for around 5 days now. And in this sideways price action, we have just been having range rotation after range rotation. So we had some demand right here. I was watching this. I was posting it in the Discord, checking for a potential long confirmation coming into this demand. And the reason why I like this POI so much for a bounce is because you had extreme demand. In other words, it was the last demand remaining before grabbing that range low. And it had like confluence with the volume area low, which is kind of like your support level in this range from a volume perspective. And you had this lovely buy side liquidity trail. And this was a weekend buy side liquidity trail. And weekend liquidity is oftentimes very nice, especially on Monday opens, where you can see right here that this high is starting on a Saturday, 6 in the morning for me. So that's kind of your weekend high, and you were trailing down, and you were coming into that Sunday night, Monday open time. And the people that have been following me for a while know that I absolutely love Monday opens for crazy moves. So I was looking for a long here, but I ended up not getting it. You kind of had a reaccumulation schematic like this, but it wasn't really like pretty enough for me to take it. Also, the entry was around Asia, so it was a bit too late for me, but it did end up working. But the thing is, it really reminded me of the Trump pump, where we also had that same liquidity trail. So you can see the liquidity trail right here with the 3 taps. We kind of had the same right here, where you had this liquidity trail down, and you also had the 3 taps here, the 1, the 2, and the 3. So I have noted down that, maybe if we do have a crazy liquidity trail from the weekend, that you can just trade less good looking setups. But I'm not too bothered about it that I wasn't in that scalp long. I saw a few people take it, so I congratulate those who did take it. But besides that, it's literally you had demand in the lower section of the range, and you had multiple supply zones in the upper section. So right here, you had this massive supply zone, and then that supply zone, you could have divided into an even more refined zone, which is basically this 15-minute order block. And price ended up coming back for both. So right here, you got that liquidity sweep of your weekend liquidity. You swept it once, you came up, you swept it twice. So this could be some sort of a distribution where you have your 1, you have your 2, and you have your 3. It's not the best looking one because the range is not that clean. Like this part is way bigger. This is like a massive range, and then from there you kind of have like an up, a down, an up, and then potentially again a down. It's not that common to get up, down, back to back to back without having some sort of consolidation in the meantime. But yeah, after that bounce, we also left behind demand right here. You see this last downwards candle, the last bearish candle that caused that aggressive expansion towards the upside, leaving that inefficiency, OBIF. There you go. There's your demand. So what we have basically been doing is we have now swept all supply within the range, all buy side liquidity. So from a range perspective, it is more likely to go down because you swept all buy side liquidity and you mitigated all supply, and there's still sell side liquidity and demand below. But you have basically just been ranging. It has been nothing special, right? We're deviating the volume area high, and we have demand below with the volume area low. So in my opinion, we're in a really neutral state of price action right now. And we have basically just been trading the altcoins, right? Bitcoin has had some rotations, and the altcoins have had just the more aggressive moves and the more clear moves for the better risk to rewards. But that's all that I have on the Bitcoin chart. Don't know if you have any input on that, but it's been a range for 5 days, and demand and supply has been getting mitigated.
Yeah, like perfectly explained. It's just the title says enough. It's the liquidation range. So a lot of people are thinking they are getting really bullish at range highs and really bearish at range lows. But it's simple. We have a range. We have an untapped internal range high, and we have an untapped range high and an untapped range low. So just wait for the extreme points, and that will tell what we are gonna do. And inside, just try to play obvious, good-looking accumulations of distributions and don't overtrade. Patience. Spot we just hold. And put the feelings away, the emotions.
Daniel is saying, I can't hear Wyckoff Insider, or you're too quiet. I'm also hearing you a bit quiet.
Oh, I think now it's better. The microphone is away.
Yeah. This is way better.
So I will explain it again. We have an range high and a range low. They are both untapped. So don't get chopped in between. Don't get too bullish at range highs. Don't get too bearish at range lows. We have no signs of distribution. We have no signs of accumulation. Main structure is still up. So patience. We hold our spot and we are trading obvious, good looking accumulations and distributions in between. But don't put emotions aside.
Yeah, this is way better. I heard you very good now. So if you're not hearing Wyckoff Insider, it's not him. It's your own volume. So yeah, it's like truly as of now, even though the range is not showing any signs of a distribution nor an accumulation, we have been trending up, and the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. So we're not showing any signs of a distribution or accumulation, but we're uptrending. So technically speaking, expectations would be a continuation of the trend until proven otherwise. Some people are still saying lower volume than TCT, still very low. I heard you perfectly fine, but
Hello,
maybe
check.
Yeah, I'm hearing you perfectly. I'm hearing you perfectly fine, but I hope it's good for the people as well. Let me know, guys, in the chat if everything is good. I don't hear him.
The ego cancellation or something. Echo cancellation.
Nah, it's better. It's better. The alt one is better.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, can you on your PC where you see like the volume icon in the bottom right? Do you have that? The volume.
No, I don't have that.
Oh, you have a Mac, obviously. Good. Just check in the settings. If the mic.
Wait,
sometimes my mic.
I now have it on 200. Where do you have it on? It's like
mine
audio.
Mine only goes from 0 to 100, so I'm like 90.
I think I'm chilling right now, guys. Let me know in the chat.
Yeah, I think you're chilling as well, bro. Like I'm hearing you perfectly fine.
Ja, je hoort lijpe echo, haha.
No, there's no more echo. That was an old that's an old one. Okay.
So check.
I think people are just used to me fucking screaming in the mic, bro.
Sounds great now.
Yeah, it sounds amazing to me as well. It's the thing is before my mic was working, I truly had to scream while recording because it was a laptop recording and not a mic recording. So now I'm still screaming because I'm just used to it, but now I have a mic. So people are like, they hear me extremely loud and they're used to it. But yeah, the thing is, guys, me and Wyckoff Insider, we were just talking about ETH BTC, and you actually had some interesting comments to make. I'm gonna pull up the chart right now. Oh, not ETH BTC. I'm talking Bitcoin dominance. My apologies. We were talking about Bitcoin dominance, and the top this could be the top. Looking at the chart, right? Just from a chart perspective, I think you also had some comments from a timing perspective that you could prepare in the meantime. But looking at the chart, I'm seeing this, and obviously we're in the range, right? And we entered this, which is kind of like the extreme supply. And even though the supply is not the best, it's still supply. And when you overlap your volume profile with this range, you are deviating your volume area high right now. But the beauty is that to confirm an actual change in trend, you need a break of structure. And when you talk about alt season, you want a high time frame break of structure. And what we have just done is we have actually created high time frame market structure. Look at this, guys. On the 2-day time frame, and obviously then also on the daily time frame, we can see price is trending up, making higher highs and higher lows. We finally came into our supply and we have created a structure. So this is currently our market structure low. Okay. If you start breaking this low at 58.56-ish%, with an aggressive break, something like this, an aggressive break of structure, expectational order flow would be a lower high for a lower low, and then you would start breaking structure back inside the volume profile. And if you just look at this chart, we have been slowly grinding up for way too long. We had a beautiful accumulation model here on the left. This was the follow through, but the follow through is, in my opinion, now done. It's kind of overextended. It's too ugly from the way that we've been coming up. And this right here is literally just a massive, massive liquidity move up, leaving all these lows intact, which are not backed up by any form of very good looking demand. So even though you can break your 2-day structure here, be aware that the weekly low is here. But I think at that point in time, the alt season is already starting if you come all the way down to back to 53.7%. But we have a high time frame market structure low to watch. And I think if you break that with a good looking break, meaning you don't have like one candle close below it and the second candle close immediately above it, no, you actually have an aggressive candle that closes preferably like around that 57.8%, kind of around here, like a good little break. That will be extremely nice. Preferably also with one candle before retracing. So we break it, we spend one candle here, and then we retrace. That would be absolutely amazing. But we have something to watch now, because I saw a lot of people talk about a 5-minute distribution, and talking about, hey, alt season is going to start. Guys, when alt season starts and when you want to actually reverse, you need high time frame breaks. Your 5-minute could potentially roll over into a high time frame break, but it's very risky, right? You cannot know for sure. If we start losing this low, that could definitely mean a change in trend, because looking at the trend itself, we haven't had a high time frame break like that. So right here, we were trending up, higher lows and higher highs. And then you could argue that this was the high time frame break, but this was a range, right? This, at that point in time when you were breaking it, was a very obvious looking range. And maybe this turns into a range as well, but this was basically a range that was a reaccumulation 1, 2, 3. So that kind of ruins the break of structure, right? Because it ended up being a range. Now, from there, you just continue this because you broke up from the range, and then you have, again, higher lows and higher highs, and you've simply just been trending up, not breaking that 2-day structure until price finally potentially coming into that supply, and then it's finally ready to break structure, okay? And that could be very significant, because if you start breaking structure in here and you don't have good looking support down here, things could move very fast. Because looking at how fast price moved the last few times, like it did something like this, right? Which is pretty crazy. And thing right here did something like this. So it likes to come up taking its time, and it likes to not take its time when coming down. So the timing you set was good. The chart actually has a potential confirmation now for being good from an alt season perspective. So what you got to say? What you got to say regarding that timing perspective? You were talking about me like the 37th week or something.
Yeah, it's like, of course, we are approaching the 4th year of the cycle. And yeah, cycle-wise, Bitcoin likes to drop between week 30, 34 and 32 till 38. And right now we are approaching 37. So, and we're coming in.
And from what perspective is that? Like what? Like the 37th week of this year?
Of this year, and going out that we have a 4-year cycle that we had the last 3 times. So I will not fade that.
Yeah. No, it's always the same, but there's always a new narrative for something new,
Yeah, like the same people are saying, yeah, we front run the all-time high this cycle, but after that we had a 7-month reaccumulation range, and basically now it's even again.
Yeah.
Perfectly
Yeah,
on track.
literally. So the thing is, if I hear that, right, it's like, okay, so you front ran like the previous cycles reaching an all-time high, but then you corrected it again by ranging. So why not front ran reaching your all-time high and then correct it by having extended distribution range? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
is not particularly that different.
Yeah, the distribution range on all the alts, they will be so clean. So much money in the market right now.
100%. So it also falls in line with what I've been saying, right? Where Bitcoin goes into price discovery, cools off, rejects, gets ready for that second leg, and then boom. That's when alts truly catch up, you know? So that, I think that also doesn't last that long, right? I think that doesn't last that long. If we add the total 3 here,
That chart is too beautiful, man. Total 3. Oh.
man, that's just like, we called this for so long, bro.
But you know what was going on like in that bear market accumulation, like the textbook wise stuff. Bro.
I still haven't I still have an old I still haven't I had an old drawing from it, but that's slowly disappearing.
Yeah,
But
like
if I
this one,
add
this
it, I'm adding you to the stage.
one.
Yeah, oh lord.
Getting emotional.
I remember but I remember me making that drawing where like your sign of strength is top right of the blue. Yeah, I made a drawing of like breaking out, backtesting, and going higher, and it was like little Lars drawing it. And it played out so perfectly, bro. It's
Bro,
absolutely beautiful.
If you look at this, what does this chart represent? Is basically retail is literally selling in these lows, and market makers are filling their position on alts. It is literally too beautiful to see this actually in the chart, like the emotions. Also, my dad was selling right here.
It's and the most beautiful thing is that right now, it's since we're actually involved in also like the online space, you know, you're not just watching a YouTube video, but you're actually online talking about crypto and seeing also sentiment on the socials. It's you literally see the sentiment and you see the fear and you see the behavior of selling in real time, you know? Like the moment Bitcoin starts ranging or going down for a few percent, even though you just pumped like 50%, it switches so fast, like so fast. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But I'm cooking up a chart here, so I wanted to have a look, right? I wanted to have a look because people just I think who asked it, Will. What doesn't last long exactly? Your euphoric alt season. The euphoric alt season doesn't last that long. So what we can see right here is I want to note down the fact. Yeah,
Wait,
look at this.
Lars, 1 second. Do we have enough likes for this cooking session?
guys. Hit the fucking like button, bro. It's not that hard. I was like, am I gonna write a whole story? No. Just it's one click, bro. It's one click for good karma in return. Like they're already asking questions. I'm only gonna answer if we get some likes in. I don't even have it open. I don't know if you have it open. But
open and also put like on the post notifications because we will call the Bitcoin top. So you better get the notification because we will full port our backs.
the thing is, guys, I'm not like obsessed, okay? I'm not obsessed with calling the Bitcoin top. There is just this thing. There is Mr. fucking Donnie, bro. Good morning. There is just this thing, guys. where last cycle in November, I opened a 10x leverage long at I think it was 68,500 to be exact. I opened a long at 68,500. Guys, if I go here with a horizontal line, like this chart on Bitstamp doesn't even go to 68,500. Like Bybit went to like 68,500, or it was 67,500. Short story long, or long story short, I 10x leveraged the all-time high and got liquidated. At that point in time, I knew something needed to change. And I remember even telling you, my brother, we have 12 months to stack as much ETH. I remember sending you that we needed like 50 Ethereum. Remember, where like we had like a whole calculation that we needed like 50 Ethereum to start the next bull run. And I was like, bro, we need 50 ETH to run it up next cycle and become like crazy wealth. Just crazy wealth accumulation. And basically, we have done everything that we said we were going to do. But to make it a just full circle moment, it's only going to be a full circle moment if I have a short of the all-time high hitting multiple six figures in profit on the way down. Like, that's the ultimate full circle moment for me. It's like a personal achievement that I need to have. Okay, it's a personal just goal that needs to happen. So trust me, I still have like resentment from that long in 2021. That's why we're gonna call the exact top, because it still hurts me. Okay, I still dream about it.
It's personal.
It's you said it's personal. Okay, this cycle is personal. So that's why we're gonna run it up. And we're gonna short it the fuck down when time is right. But what I wanted to say is, how long does your alt season last? Because it's going to be euphoric. You're going to see green. Your portfolio is going to go up. Whether you're good, whether you're still learning, everything is going up. Okay? But you need to be able to look at the chart objectively, step out of that dopamine state of mind where you just see green, green, and green, and know when to scale out. Okay? So, looking at this first vertical line, the 7th of Jan 2021, you can see the total 3 chart in the middle. I can put that here to make it more clear. This is total 3, and that basically represents your altcoins. Okay, that basically represents your altcoins. Let me make that bigger. Total 3. So if that shit goes nuclear, it's alt season. Okay, and right here you have a Bitcoin dominance. Boom. And then right here below, deleting that horizontal line, you got Bitcoin. Okay, very simple. So you can see that right here, when Bitcoin has had its first expansion, like you can see it very clearly, Bitcoin had its first expansion right here and started to cool off. Okay, we broke through the previous all-time high, we ran it up very aggressively, and then we got that first retracement. On that first retracement, that's when your alts and your total 3 were going nuclear, kind of catching up with Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin dominance topped out. Okay? That topped out. Now, from there, you can see the moment Bitcoin broke its previous all-time high and started its first high time frame retracement, that was the signal to the entire rest of the market. Yo, it's time to catch up, okay? And it doesn't have to be in the exact moment that we're retracing. Bitcoin and the alts could retrace together, but alts will catch up way faster and recover way harder and way more aggressive. So the moment we broke through the previous all-time high and we started our retrace, boom, Bitcoin dominance top was put in, and your total 3 chart started going nuclear. But you have to look at it, how long, right? How long did it go nuclear? So right here, we can see that the moment Bitcoin broke through its previous all-time high, started retracing, Bitcoin dominance topping. This is, it's kind of messing up my other thing. Wait, let me do it like this. From here to here, it was around 130 days. Okay, I'm going to post it lower here. 130 days, and it's between these time zones. Boom, right here. Okay? Because what you'll see, Bitcoin broke out, started retracing, went up with it afterwards, but that whole move up, it was just to go into one high time frame distribution to go back down again. Now, in that time, your total 3 catched up for 126 days, where it just went straight up. Like, it went almost just straight up, and Bitcoin dominance went straight down, because these work anti-correlated. Because when your alts go up, they take percentage market cap of the entire crypto market, meaning the dominance, it's like a pie chart. The dominance of crypto gets decreased, goes down. So you can see Bitcoin go up. The moment we have that high time frame retracement after that first expansion in price discovery, total 3 goes up, Bitcoin dominance goes down, and it was just straight up green and FOMO and dopamine market where everyone was winning, and that was 126 days, which is 4 months. Okay, that's basically 4 months of ultimate bull before shit hit the fan for a moment. But the thing is, the reason why I'm putting importance on 126 days, even though this is technically the top right here in November 2021, is because, do you want to call this an alt season? Because what that did was it just went higher ever so slightly than the previous total 3 all-time high. So is this truly an alt season, or was this more a manipulation of the previous all-time high to dump back down? Because I remember from personal experience that a lot of the altcoins that ran up incredibly hard in that first leg and then crashed down when Bitcoin dropped like 40 to 50%, they never hit their old all-time high. There are many projects out there that never hit their previous all-time high when we had this double top formation. So you would have been better or as good off selling that first top than holding till the second top. So that's why I'm really looking at it from this first aggressive expansion where it's truly just up, up, and up. And that was for 120 days. And trust me, guys, we looked at this current range on Bitcoin from a timing standpoint, and we were ranging for 230 days. You know how long that felt, right? You knew how time-taking and how devastating that was from price and time capitulation. Like, if you just look at the Bitcoin chart right here, and we measure 126 days right here, that was basically right before the drop in summer, right before I had my first stream with Max. We were already 126 days in that range. That already felt so long, bro. That felt so long that we were in that range, and it ended up almost doubling. But imagine that time. Try and remind yourself how long this felt from you from the start of the range till summer. And then think of that timing, but then just up only. For that long period of time, up only. Like, even if I can tell you now, look at the chart objectively, bro, there's going to happen, like, so much is going to happen in 120 days of just straight up bullish news that you're going to get blinded if you don't, train yourself to step out, your state of mind and look at the charts objectively. But you can see right here, 126 days, right when Bitcoin broke out that previous all-time high and started retracing. So if we just apply that, let's say, this is the start of a higher time frame retrace, which is, I think, right around somewhere in here. We still got some room to go. But let's say somewhere around here, that will equal Bitcoin dominance top being put in, which is kind of here. And then if we measure 126 days from there, I'm going to just do 120 to be easy. 120. Boom. You'll be right in March. You'll be right in March. And I think that also from a timing perspective, I think you have March, April, which then are still decent. And then you have the general thesis of sell in May, walk away, because I think that also happened here where we dumped really hard. We put the top in April. And then we dumped in May very aggressively. That's a general thing from the sell in May, walk away. But yeah, that would kind of be your time. And I do think you can easily sweep all these lows out in just one flush down, and then find some support from these lower demand areas in here before another flush, and then that kind of equals the most gains you're gonna get in this cycle, right? Wait, you here, brother?
Yeah, sorry, I'm on the buttons.
Oh, you're on the buttons.
I will be back in 5 minutes.
Oh, Mister is back in 5. Okay. OG Knorr, I'm a bit confused. What are you confused about, brother? Could that 120 days earlier this year have been the all season, and now we're going up for a deviation on the total 3? So I think you mean this aggressive move up. Let me check. Could that 120 days this year have been the all season? No. I think you mean this one. Like this one right here. Is that 120 days? Yeah, I think you mean this one. No, because that's not correlated to Bitcoin dominance dropping and Bitcoin going in its all-time high. Right? What this is basically is what you're referring to right here. This move up. That's this. And trust me, this looks way smaller. This looks way smaller. But if I zoom in, that's a way bigger percentage gain than this. Okay? So I think Bob is asking, so where are we in the total 3 chart from last cycle? We're right when Bitcoin dominance started at the top. Right? We're right when Bitcoin dominance started at the top, which means in the total chart, you are right here. Boom. Right there. Right there. Like you're gonna start your expansion now. That's gonna go into price discovery, going higher than your previous all-time high. That's where we are at right now. I want to make it perfect. Boom. Boom. Just like this. Boom. So you need this flush. Bitcoin dominance always flushes, okay? Otherwise, there's no all season. Everything that you have right now as a percentage gain on your altcoins is because you are early. You're simply early, okay? Lars coming for vengeance. Literally, bro. A 4-year-old revenge slaw. Yes. Is alt season? Is it in alt season? Is still a good idea to hold memes or hold good utility coins? Why would memes not perform anymore? Right? Why would memes not perform? Memes have been performing. Winners win. Winners win. Memes are the narratives, the main narratives of this cycle. So they're gonna keep on performing incredibly well. Could that? I'm a bit confused. So would you hold spot for all the time? Now you want to hold spot until you see Bitcoin dominance drop for 120 days, right? That's when you want to. That's when you want to hold your coins, and then you want to start taking profits. So have your levels ready, right? We can go over some levels. Have your levels ready in this general POI, okay? in its accumulation demand stuff, and then watch that 120-day mark. And doesn't have to be exact, just somewhere around there, and then start scaling out. And when you combine that with the USDT dominance and all that juicy stuff, it's very easy to see slowly the top starting to form. Okay, and as always, I suggest not selling at once. Okay, you always scale out. So when those first targets are met, you start scaling out. You start realizing profits, because if it's not going to be the top, there will probably be an aggressive correction, right? And there's always an aggressive correction that's not going to be the top. You don't have just one top and then you dump. Not one correction and then that's it. No, there's always a correction and then a higher high. Generally speaking, there's a correction followed by a higher low for the higher high. So even if that is not going to be the exact top, you'll be pretty close to the top, and then you can always, buy some lower. If you see signs of an accumulation, sell it again at a deviation of the all-time high, and now you're actually trading it really good. Should we check previous? Perfect. Should we check previous cycles? Yes, we always should check previous cycles, because it's just everything is basic pattern recognition. My brother is back.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna hand you the chart for a moment, brother.
All right, guys. Ask your questions in the chat. Hey, bro, do you think about the cash chart? I know you made an accurate call before the correction. So I actually made a post about Caspa. So we were trending up. When you are trending up, you pull your range from high to low. Oh. We got the distribution, we hit the target of the distribution, and what did we have? We were sweeping the range low, so this is your range low. You had a textbook Wyckoff accumulation. So what is happening at range lows? Retail that bought the top, they think, this coin is not performing, let's sell. And that is the moment the market makers step in and you have the accumulation. Initial range low, initial range high, deviation 1, deviation 2, breaking structure right here, confirmed accumulation. You got a crazy push out of the range, then you got the back test, bull LPS, and now you're pushing up. And you are disrespecting market maker supply, so that is really bullish in my opinion. And I think Caspa will melt faces again. And the people that bought the top, they will FOMO in again, and that's the moment you will create the distribution. So the people that bought here, they sold here. Now they're seeing price moving up, but they think, it's not looking that good. And then you get this, they buy there, and then you create the distribution. Then the market makers who bought here can scale out of their positions. So beautiful chart, and I'm bullish right now on this. Yeah, sorry if there's an echo. I can't do anything about it. I will try to fix it next time.
I'm not hearing any echo, bro. Like any.
Weird. Guys, we have 1,000 viewers. Do the like button and share. Ask your questions. It's time to cook. Is Doge in a sell to buy pattern looking at the past 7-8 days? Doge. Check. So Doge is melting phases. So it had like a crazy accumulation right here. Now you got the breakout and you're uptrending. And when you are uptrending, you pull your range from high to low. So this is your range. Let me check if this is the correct way to pull it. Actually, this is your range. We got one sweep of the range low. Let me see if we have demand below the range. I think we have. So this is my chart right now on Doge. I hope none of you is buying Doge right now. The only thing I would play is if we or sweep extreme liquidity and break market structure for a TCT Model 2 schematic, or we sweep the low one more time for a TCT Model 1 schematic. So just have patience, guys. Don't enter spot right here. There are a lot of different altcoins that are not in extreme premium sections, so just be patient. Let me see. Yo, friends, so did you decide on possible utility coins to add? Yes, so Bitcoin Dominance is putting on in its top. So money rotations will also go to utility coins because the whales that are in Bitcoin, they like volume. There is big volume on memes, but there are also good utility coins where the volume will flow. So I'm looking to add 1 or 2 utility coins to my portfolio, but nothing crazy. My main backs are still meme coins. Can you chart Andy on ETH? Of course, we can check out.
Look at the perfect chart.
Which chart? Like Andy?
Yeah. So clean,
Bro. It's like, what are we talking about? I'm just gonna make it really simple.
It's so simple. We're even rejecting where I expected to reject. We were pushing through it pretty hard, but those negative fibs don't lie.
Negative fibs?
Yeah, where you're currently rejecting, if like it's very fucking juicy. It's if you start pulling negative fibs on the first market structure break back to bullish, that leg that breaks it back to bullish, you get negative fibs, and then your negative 618 till the negative 1 is no, it's on the high time frame. Let me pull it up as well. Let me pull it up as well. Here, I'm stealing it for a second. On the high time frame, you had lower highs and lower lows, just like this. And then right here, you broke that back to bullish. Boom. This is that first high time frame market structure break back to bullish. And then if you pull your fib from low to high of the bullish leg, and then you get the negative fibs, boom, you were at that. This was the sweet spot to reject. I was talking about it live on stream, but at that point in time, we were really pushing through it aggressively, but we did end up getting a rejection from there. But that's like completely healthy, you know? If you don't reject there, is like you're really getting overextended. It's perfectly normal to reject, and then, you know, expectational order flow is obviously higher low, higher high, right? And then we'll see where that higher low might be, but extremely strong chart, like incredibly, absolutely incredible. Boom. The magnet. Study the magnet, bro.
Yeah, so I put this magnet on the chart, and then people are seeing. So we saw this, people see this, and they are texting me, why did you say Andy would go up? It's now going down, this and that, guys. Yeah, I'm not even gonna explain it. It's like, take ownership.
Yeah.
And study the charts more. Like, doing this. I'm now gonna buy Andy. Now I'm gonna sell.
Yeah, the problem is that I think people don't even look at the chart. They just look at percentages, and then they see, 30% down when we just pumped like 300%, you know? And they're like, oh no, 30%. And then they get all scared, and then they lose conviction, and then it's the general cycle of everything.
Yeah, so personally, I was literally buying this on September the 5th. The 5th of September. So I'm up 400% right now. So this little pullback, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
It's like, oh,
And
you
it's
invest
just,
10. It's like, oh, you invest 10K. Oh, it was 50. Oh, now it's back at 40. Okay, who cares? You know?
yeah, and
Like, who
yeah, it's
cares?
like, and guys, you want charts that do like demand mitigation, something like this.
Yeah,
If you
it's
if you
it's
do
better. It's
this,
healthier.
if you do this, you also do this. You want to create blocks, mitigations.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So no, that chart is incredibly healthy. Like there's nothing wrong with that chart for sure.
Lars, but Oscar is not looking good. Should I sell it right now?
Yeah, so I
Oh,
just guys, I just made a post about Oscar. I still have the chart up ready. It's like you can see it here in detail, right? You can see it here all in detail. It's it's the project gets created, project gets launched, and then you start to see it take off. And then literally, if you were here early, you would have had the 20x. You know, this was like if you bought here, I think that was literally almost a. Oh, that was even crazier. That was a 46x. But somewhere in this move, you had amazing gains. Okay, even if you entered here, those were amazing gains. We came around that 20 million mark, kind of like that psychological level. That, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, if you have a project that surpasses 20 mil in that first expansion towards the upside, then you can start talking. Like, let's say it hits 50, 60, 70 mil in like the first expansion. I think that's when you truly can start talking about a billion, you know, when you start retracing and then your ground floor is like 20 million. I think that's when you can talk about the potential of a bill. But then if you have the first expansion, it kind of hovers around that 20 million mark. I think people shouldn't be targeting for a bill. That would be too much. But a few hundred, you know, bro, 100 mil plus is for me definitely on the table if the project keeps delivering. But for now, you know, we had that initial expansion which delivered amazing returns if you were there early, right? And from there, what did we have? We had an 80% correction, right? Literally, we had an 80% correction. 60 to 80% is completely fine.
and what?
If you
Why
start
is it nice? Why is it nice to have like 80% correction?
because the supply gets shifted in better hands, because you have probably people that knew it early from a friend of a friend of a friend, right? People that invested early, and then they kind of sell at the top, and then those big whales, it kind of becomes divided as people get to know the project more and more now that they reach higher prices, and it kind of is a reshift of supply in better hands, right?
Yeah. Clean.
So what we had is we had a retrace down, and there wasn't really any significant demand in this POI, but this reaccumulation demand POI, and this was the most refined one. So we got the retrace down, we start the consolidation, and we actually forming a really nice Model 1 reaccumulation schematic, actually leaving a return to zone. Like this looks like a setup I would take a trade on. Like as if I could leverage trade it, you know, it would be like a leverage trade with the stop loss below the low target, technical target to range high. But this is setting itself up for a very nice squeeze. We're getting those first signs of strength. This was around like 30 minutes to the 1 hour high. This would be the safer play. It's like your 2 hour plus market structure high. If you break that, I definitely think we're going to have a rotation towards the range high, and then from there, probably towards the all-time high eventually, if we can start breaking that range high convincingly. But you basically see a move up, a move down, shift of supply in better hands, reaccumulation, where people that actually want to scale in properly and have conviction in the project are starting to scale in. And you can also see it by the volume increase in the bottom. Like you can see how low these volume spikes are, and then they're getting increasingly more and more as we come towards deviation 2 and 3, where probably people are panic selling. So the sell orders are probably panic sells. They get absorbed by these massive buying spikes, right? Of whales buying it up, which is the whole point of an accumulation schematic. And you mitigated your most refined demand POI. So in my opinion, if we start closing candles above that first sign of strength, and then we start closing candles above this break me is the range high level, then that is the bottom for Oscar, and we can see a rotation back up towards all-time highs eventually. Unless you start a redistribution here, that's not something you want to see. Like, you don't want to see it move up and then go over in like a distribution like this. No, you want to see it move up, move down, have an aggressive move up, kind of break through it, hover around it. That's totally possible, you know, preferably reaccumulate and then start moving up higher. That's preferably what you want to see. But the problem is, right? The problem is that the moment Oscar starts pumping in here, everyone is extremely hyped about Oscar. Like, extremely. With like, yo, it's the same team as SHIB and Paradox, and it has the SHIB narrative, and it can go to 1 billion, and it's OG, all that stuff. But then they were like, in this moment in time, if I only could have bought right here, I would have bought so much, you know? I just missed it. So now I'm waiting for a pullback. And then they are too impatient and enter on like the tiniest pullback all the way down here, which is a great point of starting to scale in. They probably just full clip, you know, not like adding 20% to get some skin in the game and then another 20 or 40, and 20, which is something I always talk about. But now that they're actually at 5.5 mil, literally the exact same price point as the high of this local reaccumulation range when we were just starting out, you know, now they're scared. Now you're not confident anymore. Oh.
Yeah, and so what is that, bro?
That's my new
What the hell?
That's my new trading alert. That's my new trading alert instead of that's peanut going down. That's peanut coming down. No, so so I was talking about this actually in the live stream during New York Open today, that this morning my alert went off, but it was still that handbell alert. It's called handbell. And I still have traumas because back in the day when we were starting out, I would hear that alert and then we would take a trade and then we would lose, right? That's how it used to go when you're starting out. And then my mind, you know, my mind subconsciously has connected that sound of alert with pain and fear of losing. So every time I heard the alert, I just got like a trauma trigger. Like literally, I'm like, my heart starts racing, and it's like I get like all these flashbacks. So I was like, why am I even still using that alert? So now, like Fisker said, I have like a boomer alert where it's like a nice, soft, and calm alert of a trade setup. But yeah, just to wrap up Oscar, because I actually wanted to say something about Peanut. It's like you literally have an 80% retrace. Your high time frame structure has never been broken back to bearish. This is actually the first time that you're creating high time frame structure. If I go on the daily, this is the first proper high time frame market structure pool if you neglect that little zone right here. And you have a Model 1 reaccumulation schematic that is like actually such a good schematic. This is so clean, bro. If I saw this in like a trade setup, if I could leverage trade it, I would start opening leverage long positions if we start breaking those highs. So it's like, if you study conviction by actually studying the team and seeing things before they happen, you know, I already know that the moment Oscar starts moving up, going, you know, back to new all-time highs, that's when people will start paying attention again. That's when the narrative will completely come back and people are hyped and, you know, it's going to take over SHIB and billion is the next target. But then again, you need to understand, if you are just a bit late because you didn't have the conviction, the amount of gains that you are missing is so insane. Like you'll be surprised. If you enter right now on this Model 1 accumulation schematic, going to the all-time high, you are up a 3x. Like almost a 4x coming to the all-time high. If you even wait ever so slightly when we're pumping still inside this range and then you get conviction, you're only up a 2x. Like it's such a major difference in such a tiny moment in time, just because you were a bit too scared to enter here when you broke structure already. and you enter higher up, it goes from a 4 or around a 4 to around a 2, you know? And that's when people that have conviction, because they studied the team, studied the narrative, check the wallets or the on-chain analysis, and then check the chart, and they're like, yeah, man, this is ready. This has a narrative. This can go to 100 mil. You know, you got a 20x. Like, if this goes to 100 mil right now, you have around a 20x. If you wait just with this pump because you're a bit too scared, you're entering around 10 mil. So you change your 20x to a 10x. But it's such a tiny difference tiny difference from a timing perspective. But that's where the gains are made. If you see a project go up and up and up, you know, and you enter on like 5 mil market cap instead of 3, it's such a major difference later on, which seems so innocent in the beginning, but that's what differentiates you from getting a 20x instead of a 10x, you know? Not saying this is going to go to 100. It could go more, it could go less. We don't know. I just know the narrative is there. The wallets look good. The chart looks good. Like, this is when I am saying a chart looks good. Especially if you can break this high. Like, these are your first signs of strength, but if you can break this high, for me, that's when the chart looks good. Not when we're doing this, you know? Yes, it's look good, but it's too late. Like, now is like, for an entry opportunity, this is for me the perfect time. So let's see who has started aping, because we were talking about it. I'm seeing 2 buys come in. Let me check your wallet. Let me check your wallet, you sneaky. So yeah, this looks incredibly. And then coming to Peanut, it's I was also discussing this on the live stream. Like, I have this little juicy level here that only if Peanut can come down to these levels, and then I'll see a reaccumulation schematic form. Only then will I be interested in any sort of a position on it if the narrative just hasn't completely died off already. Because come on now, if you hit the 1.8 billion state, just without me looking at any chart, okay, and just from my experience, if you get a coin that in a week goes from nothing to 1.8 billion, I can already tell you that because it hit the billion state, it's here to stay. I have personally never seen a coin hit billions and then completely disappeared. I think maybe previous run Saitama was the one, but that was because the team got fucking hacked and rugged, you know? But in general, if a coin almost hits 2 bill, it's probably here to stay. But if it hits 2 bill in a week, you cannot keep up that momentum. Also, if you want to have a retrace and make higher lows and higher highs, you cannot keep up with that momentum. That's impossible. It's simply impossible. So what I would say, without looking at any chart, if someone told me there's a coin that went from nothing to 1.8 billion and is currently at like 1 billion plus, I'm like, okay, that's probably going to be dead for a while, cool off, retrace, you know, reaccumulate for an extended period of time before people kind of forget about it and think it was just a pump and dump and the hype was there and now the hype is over, and then it will make a comeback, making new all-time highs. That's how kind of I would interpret it if someone just told me, hey, there's a coin went from nothing to 1.8 billion in a week. So personally, I'm hoping for Peanut to come down to $1. It's also like a psychological level, but I think even here I applied the exact same concepts. So what I did to get this level is I used again that fair value gap right here with the middle off of it. Was it this one or a higher one? Let me check. I didn't even did I have it on the low? I think I did the highest time frame one that was available. Yeah, no, that's not available. Is the 5-day available? No. Yeah, so what I kind of did was I did a 2-day, so the highest time frame for value gap I could find, and then I also applied my fib from this low to that high. Check the fib levels, and then you kind of had that 618 and that 705 hovering around in this area. You can see it right here. And then when you combine that with local demand and like inefficiency fills, you get this local level here, starting at that EQ of that fair value gap. So that's why I have the box right there. It's that simple. Now, we are forming a range here that's still not broken. That's still looking like an accumulation model. Maybe we just simply take this low and start reaccumulating from here with the 1, the 2, and the 3. But if we do start losing this low and we start closing candles at around 1.34, right here, then I would love to see a structured move down towards that 1. And then from there, reaccumulate to just make a crazy comeback later on, So, I'm pretty curious actually what your opinion. I haven't talked to you about what your opinion on the whole peanut situation was. Like, what is this in your opinion? Do you think it just dies off and then never comes back, or are you also like in the category of like, hey, if it hits 1.8 bill, it's here to stay, but the narrative cannot continue that aggressively? I'm pretty curious. We haven't talked about this together.
So with this one, it's really difficult. I was not expecting that like a peanut that was like for 2 days on the news gets a Binance listing and shit like that. But yeah, I'm getting the same vibes as, for example, Mudeng. Mudeng also shoots shots to 300 million in one wave, and after that got like an 80% retrace. We will get exactly the same. We also don't have a higher time frame distribution on this chart, so the big boys are still in. They just can't exit without a big distribution. So you will get that 80. Maybe you go even to the 40 cent zone. How much is that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is also on the table.
Of the move.
Yeah. That would be that would be that 80% that you're talking about. Yeah.
That would be crazy.
It's like, and you have to realize, guys, also with Mudeng, you're talking about you need that distribution. The amount of millions and millions and millions of dollars in profits that people have on a token like this, if it goes from, I think this general area was around 8 million market cap. Like you could have gone in around 8 million, which is like not here because that probably doesn't show on Bybit, but a normal entry, if you didn't catch the exact bottom, but you catch it kind of on the move up, which is still decent, was around 8 million, meaning you would make 2,000x on your investment, or 200x. 8 million, 20, 160, a 200x. No? Yeah. Or is it the two? I'm tripping right now. I'm tripping right now. Let me. That's a 200. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a 200 because it's 1,600. Yeah. It's a 200x. I'm telling you right now, people that just throw fucking shit in memes throw a few grand in memes. The amount of millionaires that have been created is not even funny. They can't full clip. Okay, they can't fool with it. Now it is listed, which I didn't even know. Is it listed on Binance? That's crazy.
Bro, it's fucking listed on Binance.
But like,
peanut.
Was it listed on Binance after the pump or during the pump? Because during the pump would be incredibly fast.
It got listed around 400 million, I think. But yeah, the insiders, they already know that's getting listed when the coin is at 20 million. So I think,
yeah, for 100%. So yeah, if you indeed, the only play I would have for Peanut besides just leverage trading, because it has crazy high volume. That was my old sound. So these are still old alerts. But besides, trading it and scalping it because it has high volume, from a spot perspective, I would only start looking in here on signs of strength, and then preferably, bro, recover this entire move. Like I would love that. And then you kind of can get like a second wave back whenever that squirrel's funeral is, or whatever they have for that shit. So that would be my only play from like a spot perspective. I wouldn't buy spot, right now, right here.
Bro,
Even though,
ass is pumping, man.
yeah, what shit doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make like, why are tits and ass and pussy? Why is all of that pumping? Like everything is pumping. Like, is it like a new wave where the dirty words are pumping?
Bro, we're getting later in the cycle, you know. But my mom was asking me, "Yo, what are you doing?" So I had to explain that I was buying ass as a coin. It's not funny to do.
Yeah, I'm buying ass. You have to say this. I'm paying for ass. It doesn't make any more sense. But that chart looked actually pretty nice. I like those charts where you just have like a move up and then just a range. Like bro kind of has the same vibes.
Bro, my chart is on. Is your chart on?
Your chart is on.
Oh.
Boom.
Let me see. Let's get to ass.
Exactly.
That's actually moving clean.
Yeah, it's actually it's pretty clean. It's pretty clean. But I love it. I love it when you have those reaccumulation schematics when it's like pretty new and like below your previous all-time high. I love that. I love those charts.
Yeah, because then when you break out, you have like this as your new demand.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, that's why we don't want like this. Because then you also do this. You want blocks.
Nice little blocks to act as support once you come back for it.
So, but it doesn't make sense to me that tits is at 227 million and ass is at 5 million. Terwijl I'm an ass guy.
Yeah, me too, bro.
So
it's like, I'm like, it should be the other way around, no? Like, obviously personal preference, but it shouldn't be a difference of a 40x in price. Like, come on now.
Bro, there are insiders in this token. It's not even funny. Look at this volume while making all-time highs.
Yeah. I'll be careful seeing that volume at the current state where you are now. It's a lot.
It's crazy. Why do you get proposing a 2x like it's nothing? We are not here for the 2x. We want 20x.
We want the 20x's, bro. I'm seeing buys come in now. Guys, stop aping tokens we are talking about. I see you guys buying ass. I see it. We should check that wallet that just put 1K in it.
Oh, bro, we're gonna track you down.
We're gonna track you down, brother. We're gonna track you down.
Oh boy.
What's he holding? Can you see something special or no? Make Europe great again? Make Europe great again. That's a lot. Trump not.
Oh boy. Such weird coins, man.
Bro, it doesn't make it objectively speaking does not make any sense. Okay? It doesn't.
Literally.
It doesn't make any sense. But hey, it doesn't have to make any sense if you can just make money out of it, right? Like, if you can make money out of it, it's like, it's completely fine.
Yeah, boys, it's so important. Like, we are taking for granted, for example, in 2x on a meme coin. But you need to be aware, doubling your money is actually crazy. So, when you are in a few weeks or months, like 5x on your portfolio, for example, just take your initials out. Maybe with some profit that you already save for this bull run and then play with that last money, you know. There's also, eventually, when we are coming really high, I'm also gonna take some profits. Of course, my main profits will when all my exit triggers hit. But guys, if you are making like life-changing money, realize some. Believe me. Like, what is your take on that, Lars?
Well, you just said it. If you make life-changing money, I want you to be aware that you haven't made any life-changing money until you cash the money. You, me, we haven't made any life-changing money yet until we start realizing it. It's all paper. It's just a number on the screen. It hasn't hit your bank account. So you haven't made any money. So I want you to live with that mindset that if you are up crazy amounts of money, you haven't made money until you start realizing it. You're what are you doing? The distribution.
Yeah, I shorted the distribution there.
With a little sneaky short here and there.
Yeah, I need to hedge my little portfolio, you know? No, to me, like, it was a sentiment with a distribution trade. You did not have the original, like the valid entry, but with the sentiment.
Well, there was technically speaking a valid entry. You had a 1 minute break of structure on the lower time frames. You're telling me you didn't even wait? No, all the way at the top. On the 1 minute, you're on the 2 minute. Yeah, that's on the 1 minute of break. You're on the 2 right now.
Yeah, I entered right here.
Yeah, that's a saver bet.
So, but Lars, this range is reminding me of that gold range that was just keep rotating to the highs. Do you remember that one?
The gold range?
Yeah, we also had there, that was like a bigger range. We had an initial range high, initial range low, and we keep on doing this. Like, it was like a range from a few
while building up sell side liquidity that we never took.
Yeah.
Because if I think then I know it. If it was when you build up sell side liquidity that you never ended up taking, then I know exactly which range it is. Because that stayed with me. Yeah, so there.
This one. Right?
There, yeah, that one.
Yeah, like, it's so weird. You had initial range high, initial range low, and you keep on coming in the extreme points, and just rotations, just fucking everything around, and then boom.
Yeah, and then I remember. Sorry, it was so hard you switched charts, bro.
So, what the fuck?
But and then the sneakiest thing was even that right before you went boom, you had a redistribution model that ended up failing. I remember that.
This one?
Right when you went no, right before you went boom, like in that retrace coming up. If you go on the lower time frame, like zoom in there on the lower time frame, you had like a model 2 distribution that was looking pretty decent.
So
yeah,
trending, guys.
And then high to low. Like, and this is what I mean, guys. Like, your brain doesn't have to work like that, but I just remember this shit. I just remember all these trades. So, but like, that's the important, because then you understand pattern recognition. Like, for me, my brain just saves that. It's because I journal it, but then also it's like I pay close attention. Like, I reflect back a lot, and then my brain I just don't forget anymore. That's why I'm like spotting it. But it's important that you identify these trades, and also when it fails, because then you learn from it, and then you don't fall for it again, you know? And this was truly when price was, don't know what you're cooking up on that chart, but this was truly when price was ready to finally break through that range. And I always tell everyone, your distribution model, that is a high probability setup, it will only fail when price is actually ready to completely leave the range. And that doesn't happen that often, you know? Like, in that entire range that took, how long did that take? Like 2 to 3 weeks, you know? How long was that range? Yeah, so 3 weeks. So 3 weeks is like 3 weeks you had these internal rotations. So if you can nail all those high probability schematics for 3 weeks, and then you take 1 L because that's when price was truly ready to leave the range, is like, who cares? You know, that's an amazing streak. And the reason I remember taking that trade, And it was because we never had a proper accumulation model, so I didn't know that price was ready to break out yet. We never had a proper accumulation model there, so it was pretty sneaky. Oh, you're cooking them up next to each other. I would love a monthly range, bro.
It would chop up everyone. I would love it, man. Like this.
A little 2 to 3 week range, and then that breaks towards the upside as a deviation, and then you start your rejection down. It's like you range, people get time capitulated, you move up, they're all excited, you go, oh my god, 96, 97, 100, 102, boom, rejection of 20 to 30%, and then you run it back up later on. That would be pretty nice.
But Lars, what would happen if we do like this? Not sweeping it.
People will go crazy, bro.
And then you get the distribution here, and you fill it, and then boom.
Yeah. Or you just deviate, or it looks like you're gonna like distribute, and then boom, like you said, but then with an extreme point or something, like it will mess people up. That's what ranges are for, right? Ranges are not there to make you enjoy the range. They're there for a price and a time capitulation standpoint. It's always price and time capitulation.
Diversify your investment study in the... What is that meaning, Lars?
Diversify your investment, study... Oh, wait. Study indentured servitude. I have no idea, bro.
All right, we will skip this question. Later. No. So diversify your investment is so important. Also for me, I'm already cooking up a plan what I'm gonna do after the bull run. Like buying that, diversify my money in that, get some money in cash for the next bear market. And so you need to plan everything in life. Then you're ready.
Planning. Yes. Yeah. I couldn't have said it better, bro.
Let me see.
If you guys, by the way, sorry to interrupt. If you guys want some advice, and it's not, I want to do more data on it, but it's my spider senses are tingling. I do believe that when this crypto cycle is over, and shit's gonna hit the fan, that just the entire world is gonna hit the fan. Okay, so that will mean stock market collapse. That means crypto collapse. That means house market. That means everything. Okay, just a big old recession or even depression. So that's just my personal opinion. I want to do more like data on it, but I just have this feeling it has been just in a bubble for too long. So what you preferably want when shit really hits the fan is you want to be self-sufficient. So for example, I live in the city now, which is the most terrible, because if the Albert Heijn is not getting filled with groceries, I don't have food. Or if my water gets cut off, I don't have water. Or if my electricity gets cut off, I don't have internet and electricity. It's like I'm that dependent. So preferably want to be independent and live with your own foods, water, all that stuff. But that's more if you're kind of like, people call it fucking conspiracy theories, all that stuff. But from an economical standpoint and finances, like if the bank collapses, everyone is fucked. So that will never fall. They'll print money. They keep the bank alive. You want to sit on such a fat stack of cash, bro, that you cashed out from this run. You want to be mobile, sit on a fat stack of cash, go to a country that's wealthy, so it's safe in times of recession and depression. And if those house markets fucking drop, bro, you just buy those apartments up like a motherfucker, because that's when true wealth is created. The rich only get richer. Okay? In a recession and depression, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. That's just how it works. Because they always have unlimited money. They'll just buy more. that will be worth more later on. Okay, so I think everything is going to hit the fan once crypto is also over. Crypto is kind of like the final move. You have the stock market goes up, commodities goes up, crypto is going up. It's like the beta of the beta. And then, stock market tops out and then crypto tops out. It's kind of like the last thing. So I think crypto is kind of like the last, the last thing to dump, so to speak, or the last investment that will top out. And from there, I would want to be mobile, sit on a fat stack of cash, and see what the market and what the world is gonna do, and then from there reassess when prices drop. Because just like there's always, just like we had in this local range, where every move down was caused by fear, with like Germany selling. And we had Japanese stock market getting liquidated. We had war. We had all that stuff. Just like in the local range, we had fear when we had to move down. It's the exact same in the bear market. In order to dump down it aggressively, they also create a lot of fear, a lot of drama. So Trump will fuck the economy up. No, it's not particularly that it's going to be his fault. It's I just think in general it's too overextended. It's everything is just too overextended, bro. The amount of liquidity they're just injecting that you need to have a reset. You just like, you can just look at it from a crypto perspective, where if you're trending up, like it. Why is that chart on the chart? Oh, that's the other one. Okay. Is like, you can look at it from a crypto perspective, where like if you're trending up, right, you preferably want to have higher lows and higher highs where your demand gets mitigated, because that's a healthy move up. Okay, that's sustainable. If you do this, it's only a matter of time where you do this before doing this, right? You want to slowly grind up, but the way shit has just been, guys, I don't know if you guys are aware, but the house markets have also been so nuts, bro. I bought this apartment in Rotterdam, in like a good area in Rotterdam, 2 years ago for 320, so 320K. And right now you can sell it for 4+ here. Like, apartments here are sold in 3 weeks of being on Funda, which is like the website here in Holland to sell your house. That's 80. So 80 above 320. 80, 320 times 100. 80 divided by 320 times 100. That's 25%. And that's in Rotterdam. There have been places that have been going even more nuts. And then the fact that I even had to pay 3+ for an apartment here is and the apartment is good, but it's not a fucking apartment of $3,000 that you can buy when you're like in the middle of nowhere, Like, the fact I already had to pay 3 and can sell it for 4, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's way too overextended. So my personal plan is sit on the fat stack of cash, be in a country that's safe, and then see what the world is gonna do. And then in the recession, guys, it's the craziest opportunity. Like, the opportunities are the biggest they will ever be. Just like we always talk about selling on the retreat or buying on the retracement, buying on that 80% correction, seeing that, reaccumulation schematic, that's when you want to buy. You don't want to buy when we're pumping. You want to buy on the 80% retrace when we're reaccumulating. And that may feel scary, but that's where the opportunity is, right? So that's kind of my general thesis in just like the world, just like as a little extra besides crypto. Because how is crypto going to dump? You need something that will cause also a dump. We know that they're going to use bullish news to fill their short positions, but then you need to sell it off. Then you need to just completely die off, you know? You need to dump. So I want to be liquid and mobile. My two things, mobile and liquid. Safe countries are Singapore, Dubai, Switzerland. Those are my main ones.
Man.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my general view. It's like, guys, you cannot turn on a money printer for years, inflate the currency, and then expect nothing to happen. Like that's not how it works. Everything needs to be in balance eventually. That's just the general thesis of Earth. It needs to be in balance. So if shit goes up too much, it's gonna correct eventually. You know, so if crypto becomes overextended, it's gonna correct eventually. It's how the world works. It's how the universe works. Okay, so that's my plan. We're gonna enjoy the ride. We have got 120 days of pure euphoria, and then from there, you may see some higher prices, but not that much anymore. Bro is gonna go to billions, and we're gonna cash out, be mobile, be liquid, TCT meetup, and we're all good to go.
Why is this guy still trading at 6 million? I don't understand.
I don't understand, bro. It's such like it's the best meme.
It's literally my favorite holding. Like
Yeah.
official wise. Like Gumiao.
No, but like if we have to be honest, right? If we have to be honest, bro, the word bro is one of the best, is I think the best word, bro. And then you have that little fella, which is like almost as cute as Billy, with this content, bro.
What is he doing? Chilling. Bro. Just pump. Don't deviate this range again.
Yeah, just go, bro. Just pump, please. Lars, is it a coincidence that the safe country all places where people hide money? Well, they do it for a reason. You know? That's why. That's why.
Yeah, and like, if you do not like the rules in a certain country, I think it's your own responsibility to go to another one. Like bitching about it, that will not work.
Yeah. Or just
Go
set
to
up.
demonstrate it will also not work.
Yeah.
Everything is planned out.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, guys. Bro, Char Pepe, guys, nothing has changed on Pepe. Like nothing has changed on Pepe. Right? It's like it's up and we're consolidating. That's it. So the Pepe chart is incredibly well. If you want a more in-depth view on what I am looking at on Pepe, I have posted my Pepe chart in the VIP Discord community. You can go to tcttrading.com website. You click on Discord. Oh, yo!
What's going on?
My smoke detector went off because we were spitting too much fire. Like, bro, my smoke detector literally went off. But that's a great way, guys, to end this stream. We will be back tomorrow. Is it the same time? I don't think it is. It's a bit later, but you can go to tcttrading.com website. You can join either the free community or the VIP Discord server. My smoke detector is again going off, so great way to end it, guys. We love all of you. We'll love to see you in the VIP Discord. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Any last words, brother?
Join the VIP. We will over deliver.
Peace out.
Peace out.